Hey guys, welcome to the arcade. Thanks very much for joining me. And in today's video we're going to do a bit of I guess you could call it a play along. Now I'm sure a few of you out there, if not most of you, would watch the Super Game Room Dudes podcast show that airs on a Friday night. Recently they've started doing a game of the week, kind of like a book club kind of idea, putting forward a game for people to play. Now last week's one was Tapper, which I sort of missed out on, but I intend to do a little play around or play along with each of the games that they suggest. So this week's one is Donkey Kong. Now I certainly won't be submitting my efforts to them because I'm not that great at it, but I thought it would be a nice wee idea just to put out a video showing off a bit of Donkey Kong gameplay and how bad I am at it. So we'll switch over to the arcade deck and jump straight into the gameplay, I guess. So here we are. This is Donkey Kong, an iconic arcade machine, not just because of the game itself, but because of who created it. Obviously this was created by Nintendo. The arcade cabinet itself is very, very recognizable just from the unique kind of shape and artwork they would have had on it. It's a very, very addictive game. It has that little balance that's between frustration and challenge. It always urges you to keep pushing forward, which is just right. It's very, very difficult to achieve with arcade games. Some would be either considered too easy or just the difficulty level is way above what would be capable of most players. This just gives you enough to keep wanting you to put in another credit, and the game spawned like a lot of high score chasers. I would urge anyone to have a look at King of Kong. It's a great little documentary simply about score chasing, mostly around the Donkey Kong game. It's fantastic. Now I will say that I am not the greatest at the arcade game. Sometimes I can get lucky and get myself through to like the second or third level. Other times I'm dying on my ass and just don't have the ability to keep going. But it's a fun little game. As you go through the levels, it adds in more challenges, more enemy types. When you talk to people who play this competitively, like score chasers, it all comes down to pattern recognition for them. They know that when Donkey Kong throws out a spring or a barrel, when it lands on a certain pixel, they know how that one's going to react compared to the other ones he throws. I have no idea about that at all. I just play it and try to react as the enemies come to me. That's as good as I can get, really. So, like I said earlier, don't expect me to be submitting any high score on this game because I will not get it. There's just absolutely no way that I'll be able to hit the high scores that some people out there will be able to achieve. I'm actually quite pleased that I got this far, to be perfectly honest. That's definitely one thing that I miss from other versions of this game, the ability to throw the hammer. No, he got me. And there we go. So that's as far as I could really get. I just wanted to do it on one credit, just to see how far I was able to get. I only made it to the second screen, but there you go. I've managed to end up second in the high score. Now that's a pathetic score, to be perfectly honest. But I don't think that version of Donkey Kong is the definitive version. I think this is Donkey Kong for the Game Boy. I absolutely loved this game. I borrowed it off a friend years ago when we were in school, and I think I took it with me when I was going on holiday with my parents, and it got me through like the long travels. It's very, very similar to the arcade game. at least at the start. And you'll see what I mean as we go through here. So there we are. Mario again, or I suppose in the original he wasn't Mario, he was Jumpman. And immediately you can see a slight difference in the arcade game where you can throw the hammer and make it up to the next level. Very, very handy, because the hammer in the arcade game was a bit restrictive. Yes, it helped you, but you were stuck on that level. And there we are, straight through to the first one. Or straight through to the second one, I should say. So yes, it is very similar in the gameplay. It does accelerate things a little quicker. So in the second screen on the arcade, we were trying to take out the support struts. In this, it's a more difficult level, introducing new enemies and sort of new obstacles. So now we have the fire types that would have confined themselves. What? That was a bad move. Yes, so the fire types that would have normally confined themselves to around the bottom of the level in the arcade game, they're now sitting around the top here. Again, it's a slightly simple level. The ladder went down on me, but all I have to do is wait on it coming back up, and there we are, second level complete. And away we go again. I really did love this, and I will show you why I love this in probably just a couple of minutes, actually. So, as I kind of played through the game for the first time, I sort of assumed that it was just going to be the normal. Did not get my pattern right on the spring. I thought it was going to jump over that part on the part of the lift, but I was totally wrong. So if I just wait here, it'll bounce over my head. I can run on, get to the ladder, and away we go up. So yeah, when I first got this game and played through it, I figured it was just going to be the standard sort of Donkey Kong gameplay, which is, you know, get to the top of the building. Each stage he would, you know, run on up. And here we have what we saw in the arcade game. I'm toasting myself. So, yes, same as the arcade game, where we're up to the top of the building and we take out the support struts that are holding the platform that Donkey Kong is sort of standing on. Catch the hammer. Lovely stuff. And away we go. Now I've just got to get rid of these two fire dudes. Excellent, excellent. So we'll jump over the gap. If they both come... Yep. They both come down. I can get up and take out the last support strut. And... you would normally think, there we are, game complete. We have defeated Donkey Kong. We have rescued the damsel. What was it? Daisy at this stage, was it? But no. Donkey Kong has another trick up his sleeve. And away he goes. And at this point, the game opens up. Watch and see. Now, if you've never played it on the Game Boy, I highly recommend picking it up. Multiple ways you can get your hands on this, and maybe hopefully it'll come to the Nintendo Switch as well, if it's not on there already. I haven't really checked out all of the Game Boy games that have been released as yet, but it's definitely worth picking up, because now the game opens up into an adventure mode. So now we're in stage 1, as it's calling it. So what we played before was kind of like stage 0, and now we're into this adventure mode where the gameplay slightly changes. What we have to do now is get through each of the levels, picking up the key for the door. Now you'll still have the same sort of mechanics: climb up the ladders, get your hammer, defeat the enemies if you want to get more points. But you have to pick up the key and take it to the door at the end of each level. And that will allow you to then move on to the next stage. You will have more enemies that will appear. There's slightly different mechanics that will come into play, like this one here. Oh, sorry. Get me back on. So I can swing myself around and around, and then I can fire myself up. So as you see here, the levels are slightly bigger, they will span more than a particular screen, not only vertically but horizontally as well as the game goes on. So we throw the key up, grab it again. If you don't get the key within time, it will reset itself and go back to where it spawned. And there we go. And here now, because I have collected all of the bonus items, I will get put into a roulette to get myself a few little bonus lives. So there we are. There's a couple of gameplay sections of Donkey Kong from both the arcade and the Game Boy. I really hope you like this, and I will see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching now. Bye for now.